Hi, and welcome to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe. He's back, the man behind the mask. A lot of fun last week. And he's bearded. Bearded today. Well, kind of bearded. It's only a few days growth, but it's been a long week. And I felt like shaving, so you get Bearded Joe today. Today, something kind of cool and special for you. Something old, but something new as well. We're going to be talking about a couple of releases from one of my favorite, all-time favorite songwriters, probably one of the greatest American songwriters, at least in my generation, and that would be Paul Westerberg. And Paul Westerberg, if you're not familiar with him, shame on you if you're not, is the lead vocalist and guitarist for The Replacements, the seminal indie alt-rock band from the 80s, put out many great records like Sorry Moms Who Forgot to Take Out the Trash, Hootenanny, Please Meet Me, Tim, Let It Bleed, Don't Tell a Soul, All Shook Down, and I know I'm forgetting a couple, but just some of my favorite records of all the 80s. Still listen to them quite a bit today. Sadly, The Replacements broke up in 1990, and the different members all went their separate ways. Paul finally got around to doing his solo career in 1992 officially. His first official solo stuff was from the soundtrack to Cameron Crowe's movie Singles. He contributed a few songs to the soundtrack, and in the movie he actually co-wrote some of the instrumental passages that you hear in the movie. But he didn't get around to releasing a solo album proper until 1993, and that was 14 Songs, which came out on Reprise Records back in the day. Newly issued on vinyl on Plain Recordings right now, and this was actually supposed to come out a couple months ago, but it got pushed back, and it's finally just came out this week. The cover that they used, I was actually kind of a little disappointed when I saw this cover at first, because this is the original album cover art. It's quite different. I always kind of liked this cover better, but there's a reason they went with this, because back in the day when they first started doing this kind of thing, as well as just the solo CD version, Paul released a special limited edition deluxe version. And this is what the cover of that looked like, although it was kind of tall. It actually looked like a little book. And that's where you get the kind of like the bound side stuff. So what they did was they imitated that, and they included what was inside the deluxe edition. There's a whole nice little interview there. So when I saw that was there, I'm like, okay, I don't mind this cover so much. It's actually pretty cool. The title of the album, 14 Songs, is a reference to J.D. Salinger's book, 9 Stories. 9 Stories, 14 Songs. And I liked this album from the minute I heard it. I mean, I was already a big Westerberg Replacements fan, but this record was really great too. From the rock and more replacement type stuff like Knockin' on Mine, what you're hearing right now, and World Class Fad, Silver Naked Ladies, to the more mid-tempo numbers like Dice Beyond Your Shades and ballads. Two of my favorite Westerberg ballads are on this album. Runaway Wind, just a great song. It was originally offered to Robin Zander for his first solo album that he was doing in 1993, and Zander passed on it. Big mistake in my opinion, because I would have loved to have heard what he could have done with the song, but hey, Westerberg's version is awesome! So I'm glad he included it on here, despite the fact that Robin didn't want to use it. And also ballad Things, which in Replacement's own parlance from the album All Stripped Down is sadly beautiful. Man, it's just a tearjerker of a song. Westerberg almost breaks down crying in the middle of the song, and it brings a tear to my eye. But so much of what Paul writes is just genius. This is one of the reasons why he's such a great songwriter. I find little things I can relate to, and most of the songs he's written, it's great stuff. And this album was produced by Matt Wallace. A lot of great studio musicians that play this, like John Peters. Tons of great people on it. Anyway, 14 Songs came out in 1993. And then Paul's next solo album wouldn't be out until 1996. And the title of that one, Eventually. And that, of course, is a joke on, hey, Paul, when are you going to put another solo album out? Well, eventually. This record actually came out 2 or 3 months back on vinyl. Same Plain Recordings. Oddly enough, I don't know why they released the second album first and then this, but you can get this now too, so it's still fairly new on vinyl. But Eventually was produced jointly by Brandon O'Brien. He did some of the album, and Lou Giordano, God, I can't pronounce that name. He did some of the other tracks on the album, and it's a little bit more polished than 14 Songs. And it's kind of still the direction the Replacements were going in at the end. Actually, a lot of people kind of think that the Replacements' last album, All Stripped Down, they almost kind of consider that Paul's real first true solo album. because there's so many studio musicians and stuff that were on it. But really, 14 songs, the first official solo album for me. I still think All Shook Down is a great Replacements record. But eventually, 1996 was also just as great of a record. Probably got a little bit more airplay. The songs Love Untold and These Are the Days both got airplay. I like both those tunes a lot. Century's a great rocker. Once Around the Weekend also got a little bit of airplay. Angel's Walk is a great tune. And closes out the album on another great ballad, Time Flies Tomorrow. The song on this album called Good Day, which is a little tribute to former Replacements guitarist Bob Stinson, the late Bob Stinson, who had passed away. And it references the song Hold My Life off their Replacements album, Tim. But both of these albums finally out on vinyl, on plain recordings. You can go out and get them now. Paul's released many solo albums since, under his own name and also under the pseudonym of Grandpa Boy. I like most of them. Some of them are a little dicey, but, you know, it all depends on what you want out of Paul. As the time has gone by, more and more stuff some stuff's only come out of the internet. It's been more and more sporadic. But the cool thing is that Paul is recently reunited with former Replacements bassist Tommy Stinson, and they've got the Replacements back together. And they are out now playing select festival dates. He's not doing too many shows, but they're actually going to be playing the Boston Calling Festival in September. I believe they're doing the Sunday night show. It might be the Saturday night show. But they're one of the headliners for that night. And I'm very tempted to go see him, except for the ticket price. The ticket price I'm not crazy about, although there are a lot of other great bands who are playing, like the National and Spooner. I think are playing the same day. And speaking of which, I hope Plain Recordings, who put these two records out, I hope they're also going to do Tommy Stinson's first solo project, which is a band called Bash and Pop. Awesome album called Friday Night Is Killing Me, so hopefully that will be in the pipe. I have no idea if it is or not, but I'm hoping if sales from these two albums go well, that maybe they'll do that too. It all depends on what kind of deal they may have worked out with Tommy too, but in the meantime, go out, pick them up. Paul Westerberg, 14 songs, eventually, great stuff. I'm so psyched these are finally on vinyl. I'm going to dig into these bitches now and listen to them. That's all I got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you're catching my good friend Scott over at Righteous Vinyl, as well as the Rip of the Day guys. And I'm not sure what I'm going to have next week. I really don't know. But we will catch you then. Next time on Sit and Spin. Until then, you know, hey, drops. Catch you later. I feel like Eddie Vedder right now in this video. I don't know why. It's weird lately, but whatever. We'll catch you next time on Sit and Spin. See you then.